Yeah, after I graduated, I went directly to BMW, but I didn't want to start kind of from scratch in the production design department. So I decided to go to the CT, as I mentioned before. It was kind of an independent development office, and it was all about advanced design. And I thought that it's great to kind of look deeper into the future to see what's possible for the future. And yeah, this was a great experience. And after that, I went from one advanced design department to another, and ended up in the production design. After a couple of years, I did my first production car. That was the 5GT, and now I did the 3 Series recently, and the F01, the 7 Series facelift, and the 328 homage. If you remember this, it was shown, I think, last year in Weil. And yeah, I'm here now at DesignworksUSA since a couple of months, since 4 months, and I'm overseeing the car department. Yeah, highlight definitely was the beginning. It was great to see what's going on, and at the very beginning I did very futuristic interior, and to see that one-to-one or in real life it was all functional was really great for me. And then, of course, the production cars, that was a highlight. Every designer is dreaming of, and after that, to have the chance to do kind of a homage car, this 328, which I did for Weil, that was a super moment. Also to see actually Weil, all that setting there, and to get a sense for this luxury feel over there was great. And the biggest highlight, of course, is doing the 3 Series. That's, for me personally, as the car is the icon itself, it's kind of a dream, which I never dreamt of course, but that this happened is great. That's unbelievable. Traditionally, of course, BMW DesignworksUSA did all the X cars so far, the X1, X3, X5. But besides that, also other cars. We won competition for the C4, for the C8 at that time, and for some motorcycles. The 1 Series was also kind of starting here, and the former director of Automotive did this back then. So there were a couple of cars won here, and DesignworksUSA has a great tradition in inspiring Munich and delivering concepts which Munich didn't thought of. For example, the X6. I think in the year 2001 the X Coupe was shown, and this was the origin for the X6, which was also basically developed over here. LA is a region where cars is mandatory, so you have to live in your car, you have to commute a lot, and Los Angeles likes cars a lot, of course, and here you find anything, you find every concept on the road. People are very open, they buy a lot of cars, beautiful cars, of course, and as you are in traffic a lot, you get inspired by what you see on the road. You get inspired by the light, of course. California has a special light condition, I would say, and the colors, the lights, all the environment which you find here is very unique. And besides that, Los Angeles itself is very vibrant. There's a big art scene. I think it's the biggest in the world. There's tons of artists there. There's tons of culture, and also the city itself is very inspiring. The life there is very, I don't know, it's very vibrant somehow. And yeah, this is kind of an inspiration for every designer. And besides that, there's of course kind of movie industry and all that stuff, which is also inspiring for us to see what they are doing, because they are also looking far ahead and into the future from time to time, if they're doing science fiction stuff, for example. And those industries are also inspiring for us. Yeah, for the first Rolls-Royce, for example, it was also kind of developed over here. Of course, it was done at the end in London, but DesignWorks designer had this idea and came up with it, and of the car as it is today. And LA is a big market for us. It's the biggest single market in the world. And we developed a highway patrol vehicle for the year 2025, and we choose LA as the main region for it. The highways are clogged, there's a lot of traffic jams. And we found out, whilst talking to police officers, that there's a need for protection and for accessibility. So the whole car is kind of protected by its shell. It has no windows. It is covered by a mixture out of carbon and aramid fiber. And as it has no windows, the whole information is mirrored on the interior. So we have huge displays. All the A-pillars and the doors are covered with one huge display. So you see the surrounding in a 360-degree view, plus additional information. And this car is carrying 3 drones. One drone is placed in the back. It's kind of a helicopter drone, so you release it and can film the traffic in front of you, or if you're in a pursuit, you can film the car and following it. And then you have 2 additional drones that are released and kind of going, there's one lane vehicles, they are going through the traffic and can enable then the chase, the pursued car by releasing an electromagnetic impulse, so the electronic is down then, and then the police officer can catch up with that car, for example. So we were kind of asking first what is needed and then trying to apply it to the car for the future. Yeah, we are trying to inspire BMW, of course. We are looking on the one hand in the future of all the brands of BMW, like BMW i, Mini, Rolls-Royce, and BMW itself. But on the other hand, we have kind of an industrial design department connected, and there we have kind of creative consulting, people thinking about future strategy. There's strategists involved. We have people that are working on user interface stuff, color materials for the future, all that stuff. So we have a big crowd of designers influencing each other, and that's also the idea behind the studio, to have this cross-fertilization, that one designer is learning from the other and that we know what's happening around us. So the industrial design department is working for a third client. We have different brands on board which we are supporting design-wise. That's John Deere, for example, or Embraer, to name 2. And we are getting also kind of information for the future needs of those industries, which we can maybe mirror back then to the car studio. So it's a very inspiring surrounding here at DesignWorks. Yeah, we have this viewing area here, and then we have another place where you can carry the models to and look at it from more distance, for example. Here's a turning plate, which is very important to us, and then we have the capability to do several models in line. So we have one long plate and we can stack then different models behind each other, and we can work here on motorcycles besides aircraft interiors, for example, besides cars. So that's very kind of a nice setup up here. So the facility is quite big. On the car side we have studio upstairs with a view on the models, which are done here in the model studio. And on the other side there's also kind of a big studio with designers involved on different projects. If you have new materials on board, you can of course develop different form language which expresses these new materials. Therefore, of course, BMW i is looking different to BMW. So BMW i is a showcase of the new materials, and it's also kind of showing the aerodynamics behind it and all that stuff. But BMW is always looking into kind of new form languages, and we're always trying to develop the brand further, and that's also a task of the studio to kind of come up with ideas for the future. Yeah, here at DesignworksUSA we are also developing the MMI scenarios for future BMW brand cars, or also kind of BMW group cars. So there's also kind of a look into the MMI of the future, of course, for Mini, for BMW itself, for partially also Rolls-Royce or BMW i. And as far as I know, also the BMW i MMI was developed here at DesignWorks. So there's kind of a deep understanding for future needs, and we are also connected to Mountain View. It's also kind of a BMW department located there, and they're kind of looking deeper into new technology, into IT implementation for future BMWs, and there's a strong exchange here. So we're kind of profiting as well from that connection, that we are really close to the IT industry here in California. It's a great industry. It's fun every day. It's a very diverse job, so I wouldn't like to do something else. And everybody who decides for being a car designer should kind of stick to this goal, even if there's people telling you don't do it or do something else. If it's your dream, stick to it. And I just can tell you that this job is a lot of fun, and it's a lot of challenge, of course, as well, but that keeps your mind fresh. And as I said before, it's at least my dream job, and I can imagine that it's also the dream job of a lot of young people out there.